Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jeremy, founder of QuickMail.io.
Hey, and this is Jack, Chief Lead Generation Officer at salesbread.com. Today, we step into the future. We're talking about robots that write our personalization.
That's right. Did you give
Yeah.
your resignation letter? Is this over?
Yeah,
Someone else
it was fun while it lasted, Jeremy. I had a good time here. No, look, I mean, this is new,
will.
and I would say attention-worthy technology for the cold email power user slash daily
Power
user. I
users.
mean, it could be something that more and more of us use to speed up our workflow.
Jack, for a long time, we've been saying personalization is very important if you want good success with your campaign. So now there are a few tools that start popping up for personalization. You've been testing one recently, and what are we going to do tonight for the listeners?
Yeah, so we're gonna see what smartwriter.ai has drummed up after providing it with input of 3 LinkedIn URLs, and we've asked it to return the icebreaker, or Jeremy, what you and I would refer to as the custom intro sentence.
That's right.
To start off that conversation. Now, I will say SmartWriter and other tools. You mentioned 2 others, Jeremy?
Yeah, you got some other ones that are similar, but it's not specifically for personalization. It's the AI writing for you the copy. So you got like copy.ai and convert.ai and things like that. But I mean, we're very close here because you could basically nowadays, grab a page with bio on someone, and then they should like speed out, like what's a 1 sentence personalization. So that comes. They're all using the same technology, GDP3, whatever kind of GPT-3, 3-letter acronym plus 3. And it's cool technology. I played around with it, and it's clear that that could be a game changer.
Yeah, I know that this technology has scored. I think they're beating the average for the SAT reading comprehension. Have you heard this? They basically plugged in. This was Allen NLP, a different library that's honestly not as smart as the one that these tools are using. And just for background, SmartWriter does offer the same kind of copywriting done by robots, but frankly, I'm most interested in how it does personalization because, look at SalesBread, we spend a lot of money on people that are good at writing personalization. So this is naturally an opportunity for a tool to step in and help us out. Now, what we're going to do is take a deep look. How did it do? Is it there yet? I'd like us to just take a look at what it spit out, what the output is, and find out how if we can use this in our workflows. If we think this technology is ready for a second look today, or if it's kind of this freshman AI that is yet to develop into something important, right?
But before that, we have to hear the Jack one-liner and my
crappy
one. So
fine, Jeremy. Well, today, most B2B companies lack the time or expertise to turn cold prospects into warm leads. That's why at salesbread.com, we generate 1 lead or booked appointment per day using ultra-personalized cold emails and LinkedIn messages. If you want to find out what we're doing to hit 1 lead a day, head over to salesbread.com/contact, and I'll share what's working. And depending on where you're at, maybe we'll hop on a short chat and I can give you some more tips, maybe a strategy or 2 that you can test out as sort of let's find out what is working these days. So salesbread.com/contact. Jeremy, what do you have?
Well, some nice variation to your one-liner today. So
look at this. Look at me.
Well, I still suck at this. I still haven't written it down, but
After 100 times.
yeah, exactly. So go ahead, head over to quickmail.io. This is one of the best platform when it comes to cold email, especially when you're an agency and you need automation, something that is, giving you a predictable pipeline. And on top of that, if you have problems with deliverability, just go ahead over to quickmail.io, sign up, and basically grab our free plan for auto warmer that will make sure that there is some engagement on your inbox, and that way keep your deliverability higher.
It's also nice because it tells you where your messages are landing.
Yeah.
Right. So it is an auto warmer, but it also will tell you, hey, did you inbox in what tool?
Yeah, that's
that.
very true. In fact, we actually are starting to actually use that as a performance indicator for your inbox, because now we got like so many inboxes that we could tell you like, well, it seems like on 10% of the case you seem to actually land on spam, and so that we give you a score for this thing. But we keep on working on it, obviously. So anyway, keep improving it.
Keep up the good work over there.
Thanks.
Now let's do some screen sharing and take a look at a couple of examples here. All right, cool. So bear with me, Jeremy. I'll take over. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, of course, I'm waiting.
Oh, sorry. I thought Zoom froze on us.
And I'm sorry for
All
the
right.
listeners if you were in your car thinking, your thing doesn't work anymore. Yeah, no, we're back. We're back. No more silence.
Okay. Very good. All right. So we've got David Jevons over there. I don't quite know what he's
Can you zoom
what he's working on right now. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Boom. All right. So we're looking at two separate personalizations.
Yeah. Why is that?
The first one that I've highlighted, and for our listeners, I'm going to read what smartwriter.ai found for the bio of this individual. So they looked in the about section, which is a very rich source of personalization nuggets. So good idea. And then the second one we'll read was found after taking a look at a recent post this person shared or commented on. Okay. So obviously that's not available to every prospect, but for this teardown, we selected 3 at random. And we're going to just
that's right, because you had like a big spreadsheet with a lot of them, so we don't know what the results is. We just grab at random.
Okay, cool. So let's get started here. So it grabbed the first name. It says, "Hi David, your company CipherTrace is doing some amazing work in the world. Your company is really making an impact in areas that are necessary for economic growth and security. What you're doing is a real game changer. I also noticed that you've done a lot of consulting work, which has been really educational for you both professionally and personally. It's really great to hear how much you enjoy it." Yeah.
Wow. That's long, but that's definitely something a human can write. I mean, I receive those type of emails, regularly. So I wouldn't be able to tell this is an AI.
Okay, before we go on to the second one, I'd like to add a couple of notes here. And again, this is a young AI relative, right? I mean, I think it will only be getting better, but my takeaways here is
again, it won't get hired at SalesBread, but
not at this level here. So
how AI can improve.
So my rule is I'm always saying, find something specific that you can either write a compliment on or ask a question about. So saying doing some amazing work is not specific. So it fails my test. I
think fan of your work, love what you accomplished. Yeah, it's too generic.
Yeah, it's so hold on though. But let's do this. Your company is making an impact in areas that are necessary for economic growth and security. Okay, now that's moving more towards specific. So if we did this,
because it could be a misinterpretation.
So I'd say
interpretation.
That's a good point, Jeremy. We can take a look at what the company is, but now I've just modified it. CipherTrace is making your company CipherTrace is making impact in areas necessary for economic growth and security. what you're doing is a real game changer.
You
I think
just merge
that's
the
passable.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what would you say? Would you delete the part about consulting work, even though that technically is specific? I'm not sure.
I like
There's a lot
it's
going
really
on here, is
great.
the point.
If you bring back the
Sorry.
line for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
it's okay. I kind of like the end. Like, it's really great to hear how much you enjoy it, right? It's like it's
Mm,
the recipient focus, which I kind of like, even though it's still generic, right? It's a
yeah.
recipient focus, and that's not something I would expect an AI to write, right? I would expect an AI to say like, I see that you spent 5 years at this company, that you did, you know what I mean? It's like very
Sure.
logical fact stuff, not necessarily interpret, things into, well, it
Good
sounds like
point.
you're having tremendous fun, or maybe it's generic stuff, right? So it's difficult to know.
Yeah. Let's actually take a look at David Jevons' bio here.
Cool.
And I'm curious where this AI found out
Can you zoom a bit again,
about
please?
his. Yeah, can do. What I'm going to do next is do like a Command F
Cool.
and search for consulting, I guess.
Well, it did get, I
Consulting.
mean, one thing the AI did good is that it did get the name right and the company right, right? And that's not necessarily part of the URL per se.
That's
So
true.
they do get that information properly. So worse
That
being worse,
is
this
very
AI can
true.
extract, those sort of information automatically.
Yes. The weird thing, Jeremy, I just did a Command F. I didn't see a thing about consulting unless it's under 5 more experiences.
Yeah, like in
Hmm.
1975, he was doing 1 month's internship as a consultant. Oh, maybe it's
Right.
in the recommendation.
It could, but the weird thing is you can actually toggle search and recommendations or not, and I've selected to not search there.
Hmm.
So let's ding him a point there because I don't see where he's been uh, mentioning consulting. That's a little awkward. Okay,
But yeah,
fair.
that's an
All right.
interesting
So
point. It's like your personalization can fail the entire email if you get it wrong, right? It's
yes,
like if you say like, "Hey,
absolutely.
congrats, Jax! I really love how you're a champion in, I don't know, scuba diving
Chess.
or whatever. Or, yeah, or chess. Yeah, I just love
Right.
how
Or
you
Dracula trivia.
or Transylvanian, trip expert, kind of thing.
Geography, right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So it's just like, that could actually burn your entire email, right?
Fair.
Potentially.
Okay, so let me show you. I'm far more interested in how this tool is picking apart recent posts. At SalesBread, this is probably a lot more relevant to some of the personalizations that we add. So if it's a recent post that they wrote, man, we should talk about that, right? So let's see
Okay.
how it does with David. I'm going to go ahead and give this a read here. Hey, David, saw your recent, by the way, you can remove the
Hey, David. Yeah.
greetings if you choose. Yeah. So it says, saw your recent post with a picture on LinkedIn about blockchain and cryptocurrency. And I love the way you mentioned the need for more data on cryptocurrency transaction. It's really important since it's such a new thing. Holy, that's pretty good. To me, that's a lot better.
Yes,
It's,
assuming this is correct. Yes.
fair. Okay.
It could be. There's one thing that I'm sort of like surprised for in or something we don't talk about, and maybe this is for a different cast about personalization, but when there is a total disconnect between your personalization and the actual pitch
Doesn't
offering.
matter. It doesn't matter. It
For,
doesn't matter. I can, yeah, if you are a triathlete, but I'm reaching out to you on something about a cold email tool, you're still gonna, I mean, let's actually pull back a recent example from the cast is somebody had mentioned how they read that you ran, what was it, 50 marathons or
yeah,
30
per
marathons in a
year.
year?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with cold email, but
That's
I think
fine.
they transitioned to something else, right? And it kind of worked. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I guess that's true because I just received another personalized thing today, and I replied that it really felt forced. And maybe this is because more of the language and what they actually went through, but it seems like so it's like the person was sort of like desperate to find something on me, to sort of highlight. It didn't really feel natural to that. So I asked him like, how are you using any tool, or or do you do like too many a day that you're running out of ideas, or just trying to understand. The guy said, no, I'm just I need to do more work on it. It was just
Do you
all
mind
manual.
if I ask what it said? Do you remember? Or
Um,
the topic, I guess.
you know what? Let me just pause
Here,
the
while
video
you
for a
pull that up.
second while I put it up. All right. So I found the email, and do you want to read it, Jack?
Sure. It says, "Dear Jeremy, I've followed QuickMail for a few years and just saw your comment on Damon Chen's tweet about not rewarding yourself with a new bike and thought to reach out. Totally agree with the non-reward, by the way. Love that mindset. Reminds me of Ingvar Kamprads." And there's a hyperlink there. And then it says, "I'm working with blah, blah, blah."
Yeah, exactly. And then he goes into the pitch. I don't know why, but actually this one didn't hit home. Can you guess why, or do you
Yeah,
find it
because
perfectly okay?
for
Or
you're somebody like um
okay,
no,
it's a
no. What
personality issue here.
I'm
It's Jeremy.
hold on, slow down, slow down. What I'm going to say is you are somebody who is, let's say, findable on the internet. You have a YouTube channel, you have a podcast, you have, you are the founder of a tool that creates a lot of content. So this blew by all of that, and it kind of went into like the dark web to find something that you
I
did.
think you're
So
right. It's just
it's
it
a
was
little
a
bit,
reply to one tweet specifically where there are like so
yeah,
much other things to, I would understand if this was linked. It's like, hey, that made me like this comment make me like I want to reach out because of
yeah.
this and it's linked. But if it's not linked, then in this case, I would expect this is a more general comment or something that is more upfront than actually like a specific reply, because obviously this reply didn't trigger him to want to talk to me, right?
You and the reason is because Twitter was the wrong platform, wrong
Could be.
channel to do that personalization research for you.
I
And
agree.
then just as a tip, I try and start with Google. Put the person's name in the company and see what Google returns. I mean, you're gonna look if it's someone like yourself, you're gonna have interviews, right? That's an easy one. Google will kind of like, it's smart enough to tell you what's very relevant to that person at the company. So if they were just featured on Forbes, that's going to show up, and that's something that would make sense to talk about. I think wrong channel was the issue here, and I agree. It's a little bit weird because you're not a recluse. You put content out, you put stuff out.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Well,
Okay.
let's go back
Carry on.
to or personally
Carry on.
stuff.
Right. So it's a little bit weird that they said saw your recent post with a picture. So I might say like saw your recent post on LinkedIn about blockchain and crypto, right? Love the way you mentioned the need for more data on cryptocurrency transactions. It's really important since it's such a new thing. Okay, that is not that bad, assuming that this is correct. Right. I think I found it here. Yeah, it's kind of tough to see which one they were
Pretty
referring
much all
to
of them
because
seems to be talking about
yeah,
crypto and
this
blockchain.
this is a fintech list now that I remember. So everything is about crypto and security. But your thoughts on this, Jeremy, before we move on?
No, I think it's okay. It's okay.
Do
It's definitely something that someone could have done.
you mean passable in a cold email? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I see, definitely.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'll second that with a little bit of editing. The one about the line about the image kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, there are some stuff that are weird. I grant you that.
That's the thing. So takeaways at this point in time: do not run an AI without having a human set of eyeballs on
Editing.
it. That's just, I don't care what year it is. If it's being sent on your behalf, you should know. I mean, go ahead, Jeremy.
No, that's fine. I didn't mean to interrupt. But it does really look like, that could be used as a tool instead of the end all be all kind of thing, right? So
It's
you
an
use it to
assist.
generate some ideas.
Yeah.
Exactly, to assist. That's the word I was looking for. That could be a great tool for speeding up all
It,
your research, you read
it
message,
does
some
research.
message, and off you
Boom.
go. Boom.
I agree. So I was doing some other tests on my own like LinkedIn profile, and I read one of the personalizations mentioned that someone said, "I love your approach to failure. I actually just did a recent episode on my personal podcast about this very topic." And I was like, "Oh, no, I didn't." That's like a very uncomfortable thing to send because I would never write that because it's not true. So
Yeah.
that's some of the issues here. Hopefully that we're uncovering the weak areas and maybe the strengths
Hey,
that you can
it's
use
clear
this with, right?
we're probably going to do like a top 10 things to avoid when doing personalization in the future. If you if you want to see this
Yeah.
cast, just let us know.
There you go.
All
Okay,
right.
let's read the next one. This is Ellie is a next person here. It says, congratulations on your success at Dominate. I'm a fan of Sense Technologies Inc., not only because you founded it, but because you've been running it for the past 5 years. That's really impressive. Especially when you have such a creative and successful background in fintech and retail technology. I also like that you're adding value to your company with strategic relationships with enterprise companies.
I feel
Oh, man.
insulted. It's like, hey, it's impressive. You managed to stay 5 years in business as a CEO. Good job. It's just like, okay,
This is
that's a great
this
start.
one's pretty bad. Yeah. But the weird thing is like, congrats on your success at Dominate. And then it says, I'm a fan of Sense Technologies Inc.
No
So it's
idea.
mentioning two companies in one and saying you're a fan because you've been running it for the past 5 years. And that's
It's like,
really, oh man. Okay. So I don't know what's usable here.
let's look at
Uh,
the shorter version based on the post they did.
well, it's so,
Oh, you
hold
want
on.
you want to
Before we
spend
do
time
that,
on this? Okay, go.
yeah, let me chop it up here. Um, let's chop it up. So, Jeremy, I heard about your background in fintech and retail technology.
I don't know. You can salvage
Kudos
this one,
for
honestly.
it's hard. It's forcing me to hard. It's like kudos on partnering with those enterprise companies, whatever.
Man, you're
So
good.
I might as well have started from scratch on that one, but whatever. Okay. So let's look at a different one. This, as we mentioned, is a generated icebreaker based on a post that they shared. Let's give this a read. I love that you've read The Execution Factor, and it has changed your outlook on life. It's an awesome book, and I know that it will prove to be very helpful for you.
I cringe as well.
It's weird, but I love
The
what they were
reference,
going for.
yeah, the reference is
Yeah, the
good, but again,
reference.
it's like, I see that you spent 5 years at this company, that you did X, that you did Y. It kind of weird. And, it could also be condescending to say like, yeah, this book will serve you well. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's very was it patronizing?
Yes, that's a word. Yes.
Right. So
You should have selected like
where is
cheeky
this book?
AI or some stuff like that, like playful, or because you can,
Yeah,
with
well,
those technology, you can effectively say the type of language that you want, or like, do you want them? Don't choose sarcastic, please, for your intro lines, but
you
it
should
could
be able
be
to edit the
playful.
tone, right?
Yeah, it has to
Okay,
match the
Jeremy,
rest of
this
your
is
emails, I
scary.
believe.
I'm afraid because I am not seeing this book,
Ah.
which would be not that cool. Okay. Look, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, but that's a little bit
Double check what
terrifying.
the AI is doing, right?
And if that's the case, then is it really saving time, right, guys? I don't know that. Okay. Again, let's give it benefit of the doubt that we just happened to they deleted it, let's say, after we had the post run
Enough.
through the AI tool. Okay. Last one, but not least. This one goes out to
Sahil.
Sahil. Okay, cool. So first one reads, I saw you're the founder of Noah and you come from a background of working in product development. That's really cool. I'm at a similar stage as you, but I might consider my options in product strategy and management. I'm pretty sure that you've got some pretty good insights into the world of digital products.
You
It
do
gets worse, Jeremy.
I do like one
Let's
thing. I do like I'm at similar stage at you. You know, it's like building. You know,
true,
like
but you
liking,
better
but the
be.
rest,
Yeah,
like
I
I'm
mean,
considering my
it would have.
option in product strategy and management. It's like what?
That's right. That's the thing. I'm comfortable watching this AI say stuff for me. Like, um, yeah, you got to be really careful here. This one, I look, I've done a lot of personalization work, but I can't do anything with this. Yeah, I'm just gonna scrap it. Is anything salvageable from your end?
No, and again, this is you come
First
from
name?
a background of working in product development. You spend 5 years doing it's
Yeah,
like it's still descriptive. It's you need
it's
to hit the
binary, right?
metadata, right? The yes, exactly, something
Exactly.
else. But anyway, the
Let,
second one should be more promising, right? It's based
let's
on
find out.
supposedly
And
one of their
again,
posts.
yeah, and again, the post uh, AI is typically the most helpful. Let's see if this holds true. It's great to see you're in the strategy and execution business, as these are two major skills I value highly. You also mentioned your work has a focus on financial models and synthetic portfolios, which is something I am very interested in. I look forward to talking more about your work with you. Huh.
It's very writer centric, honestly, on this one.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I kind of.
But look, I mean,
let's let's revisit
this
this
is
in another class in 2 years.
yeah. Well, look, this is probably a good segue out of it. And Jeremy, I may stop sharing
Yeah.
at this point, right?
That was
So
fun. Thanks,
let's
Jack.
bear in mind, yeah, that was cool. Let's bear in mind that a computer program wrote this, right? And in 2021, that's still interesting. That's a
Sure.
novelty. That's like, hey, that's neat. We probably won't be saying that in 12 months. But I'm gonna say this is neat. It seems like it can speed up research for us.
That's true. And maybe that's right. That's where the balance is. Like it could be, I think, with GPT-3. Oh, I should really, search for the actual right
Hold on,
acronym.
I'll find this
Thank you.
damn
You do
thing.
that while I'm trying to
Yeah,
make my point here. But with this technology, you can effectively say, give him a piece of text or give it a piece of text and say, do me a too long to read type of, sentence. And I think that's kind of interesting to sort of like highlight or, saving your time or do it like, or you can ask question like, what is this person the most excited about or those sort of thing. And then he will tell you what, and that's what you can then build on with just, your great, personalization line.
yeah. So it's GPT-3.
GPT-3. There you go.
It's hard to say because it all rhymes.
That's right.
GPT-3. Okay, so I wonder if I can do like a mini segue, Jeremy, and show you this demo of the Allen NLP tool, because it's kind of what you just described. Like you throw in text and it should spit out the actual answer to a specific question here. So here, I'll just share a screen. This is like an extra nerdy look at
That's right. The
AI.
episode is over. Go to course.quickmail.io if you want to know more about, cold outreach
Yeah,
and you want to become an expert into it. And there you go. What are we talking about
correct.
now?
So what did I do? Let me show you. So I went to GTP3's Wikipedia page, copied the first paragraph. What is it? Right. And now I'm going to ask this Allen NLP AI thing. I'm going to say, what is GPT-3? And then you run the model and it should spit out what it is here.
Yeah, you got the answer. Like an
So
auto regressive language model that uses deep learning to produce human-like text. Right.
correct.
Just under
Okay,
the
so
button. Just under the button, you got it.
Right here, right?
Model output
Oh,
and then
right here.
answer. Yeah, there you go.
So watch this though. Imagine that we've got somebody's about page. This is what I was hoping to find by now.
Can you actually
but it's
copy
not
the one of
quite.
Ellie and let's see if we can actually lead to something better? That could be a funny thing.
Yeah, good idea.
Like his
Good
profile, of course.
idea. Right. So, but yeah, okay. So it gets really interesting when somebody has like, I call it an easy bucket. Like I'm passionate about helping nonprofits and charities in my area, and then you can ask what the person is passionate about in this NLP thing. This is actually the technology that beat the SAT average. This Allen NLP thing. So okay, so let's.
What
do we
is
want to ask
Eliza
here?
excited about or something like that? What would you put as a question?
Okay. Let's say, what are they working on now?
Oh, that's nice too.
Okay, because it has to be answerable by a human. Okay, and the answer is managing partner of Dom and Tom Inc.
Ooh.
Okay, that is 100% accurate.
All right. Well, what is interesting about that person? Let's try that.
What is interesting about
Eliza?
Eliezer? Boo, it just said what they, oh, serving. Okay, how about this? Let's try one more time and then we'll get out of here. But
we got basically the
who
same
does
answer. Managing
Dom
partner.
and Tom serve? Who does Dom and Tom serve? Okay. Come on. Fortune 500 brands. It found it.
Right.
That's my inner cold email nerd is kind of having a field day here, because you could essentially scrape bios, ask it specific questions, and depending how it answers it, use that to create your personalization. But again, it's not there yet. This is, I mean, look, if
what would be your personalization? Kudos on serving on, Fortune 500 brands.
No. Let me see here. Currently a member of Moonbow TLV, where he attended their incubator and was mentored by renowned Israeli entrepreneur Amit Bohensky. So my personalization would be, hey, would love to hear about your experience getting mentored by Amit sometime, and then I would look up maybe something that person has worked on, so that I can explain why I'd be excited. But
so the
yeah, at the moment,
this is you don't want to receive a personalization from a bot, you want to receive it from Jack.
Yeah, or a hybrid. I think it's a hybrid, right?
Could be.
We've talked about that, in our course. The last module is like outsourcing and automation, and like we're like kind of clear that it's not a goal to automate everything. You have this mix where you outsource some things that should be done by humans, and you automate some things that should be done by machines. And there's a nice balance there, so that you become very efficient without sacrificing quality, which hopefully this cast showed you that, well, you can sacrifice quality if you're not careful and you just rush to
and you burn your leads overall. And in fact, we added also a module recently about like how to go and do personalization. So if you're interested, go to course.quickmail.io and make yourself a favor and then grab it.
Well, Jeremy, thanks for a super cast.
Great cast. Thanks, Jack, for bringing awesome AI and still thinking AI is the future. And we should do a revisit of one of our episodes where we were like AI versus
we will. Yeah, and we'll have to revisit this in a couple months because it's going to change. That's the idea. It's always getting smarter, hopefully. So
sorry, I'm becoming cheeky here. It's time to stop the episode. All right, great cast, Jack.
See ya.